Welcome everybody to another episode of Buzz's Kitchen! We have a special recipe for you today. Buzz's own Roadkill Pot Roast. That's right. And if you guys haven't bought my book yet, remember, eat me. Eat me. That's the name of the book. So go out to the store and get it. But that's what we're going by today. And we're going to go on there and we're going to look up stews. And we're going to cook us some venison crock-pot stew. And guess what? It's a Friday night. I'm sitting here watching Hogan's Heroes and making this f***ing video for you. That's right. Instead of being out and about. So tomorrow's hunting, and it's hunting season for all them gun hunters out there. And if you've been following me on YouTube or Facebook, hopefully you've been seeing I haven't seen shit. Jack squat. I combed the desert and I didn't see shit. But that's the way it goes. So we will be out in the blind tomorrow morning hunting, and of course Buzz's deer camp is going to be loaded here in about a half hour. Of course the stew's going on, and it'll be on tomorrow morning, 12 hours, and ready to go tomorrow night when everybody comes back. So let's see how I'm going to make this recipe. As you can see here, we have a smorgasbord of meat. And this is this year's roadkill. Of course, our hunting camp where we park at, 5:30 in the morning, bam, boom, bing, bow! Some car hits a deer. I heard something in there, in the weeds across the street. Shine my flashlight and there it was. Nice doe. Nice size doe. And we got a roadkill deer. So, we got steaks. So, 1.5 pounds of steaks here. And a backstrap. One backstrap. And we'll cut that and dice that all up into cubes and sear it on the pan with some olive oil. But first you want to beat your meat. And of course, the hammer with the knobs on. And when you beat your meat, I'm very good at beating my meat. Just want to get it nice and even. Hold on to it and just let your hands go. So you want to continue and hold on to it nice and tight. Let your hands do all the work. And tenderizing that meat a lot nicer, even though it's going to be tender in that crock pot. Buzz still likes to beat his meat. Well, you can see the technique I'm using. I cut, and then I just cross-cut, center, and that's it. And that's about the size of the cubes right there. Now the backstrap, I'll do a little bit different. So, what I'll do is cut that a little bit smaller to get more cubes out of it, because the backstrap is what? It is your best meat on a deer. The best meat on a deer. So, a lot of people don't even like cooking with this, but when you're a Buzz, big game Buzz, hunting 4 months out of the year, you can afford to use backstraps in potluck stew, pot stew, whatever. So you see it, cross-cut there, cross-cut there, cross-cut there one more time, and that gives us several small little things of cube. So we want this olive oil to get heated up nice and hot. So when we put this meat in, you're gonna hear it just sizzling. Just sear it on high with the oil going. So after we're done searing the meat, we just throw it back in the crock pot, juices and all, and just let it sit and get ready to start prepping everything else. Well, we'll see how we're going to do the celery. I'm going to show you. And after we rinse it off and that, we got a little bowl down here. And we just cut it in lumps like that. And you'll be good there. See? Sayonara! And next we will get the potatoes. And what's stew without potatoes, right? We rinse these off and then we will dice these up and throw them in the pot. And nothing like a beer on a Friday night. And that's exactly what we're putting in this stew. It's Buzz's beer stew. Buzz's deer beer stew. Buzz's beer deer stew. We'll get the onion and we'll cut it up. And you want to slice, I like slicing them somewhat thin. You gotta know what you're doing and be pretty good with a knife. And of course, be pretty good at cutting. And then I will come down and slice down here and leave them in halves. Now we have 2 garlic pieces here, 2 garlic cloves, and we will activate them and cut them up. So you can make your own minced garlic, like Buzz does, instead of buying it. And of course with our garlic, and a little bit of beer, which we are using Samuel Adams Winter Lager. Now we can add this to the pot. All the juices in this pan. The beer, a little bit of water, half a cup of water, a bottle of beer, and the juices from all the fixings. So of course we have 3 pounds of meat. We have a bunch of celery, a bunch of potatoes, 1 onion, 2 garlic cloves, and some carrots, which I gotta go out and get right now. With all the juices here, we're gonna add McCormick's. This one is the savory pot roast. 2 packs of that. We'll mix that in real good. And I took that pan. It's a little mixing tip for you guys. So once we're done mixing that, we'll just pour it on into the pot. Now we have everything in our crock pot. Now we added a little bit more water, so we got approximately 1 bottle of beer, 1.5 bottles of beer, and a half a cup of water in there, and we had 2 packets of the McCormick's mixed in. So, with everything in the crock pot, we can turn it on low first thing in the morning before we go out hunting at 4:30, and then by the time we get back in the afternoon, it'll be all set. Well, everyone, that's about 8 hours of cooking, 8 to 10 hours of settling and that roast going. So, you can see that it's bubbling. It's on low, of course, and you can see that the meat's even falling apart in some areas. Some of that's probably that backstrap, but boy, and these quartered potatoes, everything looks good. Nice and tasty, eh? And just for those of you that want to get more recipes, just remember to stay tuned for Buzz's Kitchen. Gee!